Hello, potato chips. How are you? Wee Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome. Another wee video for you today. Now, I'll have to be honest, this is a video I never seen me making. It just would never have been a thought process. Let's just start what we're doing a video on. This is the BM940. I'm not doing a video on it. This is just for comparison. This is my favorite production working knife. As if you know my channel, I just love this knife. For the shape, the axis lock, everything about this knife is to me just a joy. I love it. This was given to me a gift about 3 years ago by Jeff Jewell. It's just a joy I love to use on it as often as I can. This is a collector knives. This is Mike Latham runs Collector Knives. He designs knives and gets them made by Lion Steel in Italy and then sells them through his American website. This is the Bolus. He makes there's all different versions. You maybe know him more for the Lion Steel Shuffler and Dom. There's a whole rake of knives that Lion Steel and other companies in Maniago have made for Mike Latham. And an absolutely fabulous dealer by all accounts, but I only know him as a person, and he is a genuinely really nice knife lover, and just very approachable to talk to. I spoke to him a couple of times now. So let's get over the right. What have we got? What do I like about this knife and this knife? It's going to become very apparent in a minute if you haven't seen the Bolus before. I've been trying to get one of these for so long I can't tell you. Here's my 940 with that blade shape that is just to die for. Look, this is not a slicey slice. It's quite thick behind the edge, and you'll see that on the edges on it. If you look at that bevel, and then I'll show you the Bolus when it's open. Here's the Bolus. That's an axis lock. Yeah, green aluminium. It's not UK legal in any way. And I would have loved it to be UK legal, but it can never be because of the axis lock alone, never mind the size. Now, Benchmade have come out with a mini version, still not UK legal because of an axis lock, but let me just show you these two side by side. Does this remind you of this? To me, it's just what I've always wanted, is a UK legal knife with a blade shape, that reverse tanto that I love. Now, this is not a copy of a Benchmade 940. This looks very similar to it, but it's not a thumb stud. This opens with thumb stud or axis. This only opens with a nail nick, full stop. You can't get it open any other way. It's two-handed. You open it up with a nail nick. And it's got a beautiful Cocobolo instead of the aluminium, which I love. This is my favorite version. But the Cocobolo in this is just beautiful. What was I going to say there next? Oh, I was going to say, it's not Cocobolo, it's ebony. I knew I was throwing myself off there. Sorry. This is ebony. And it's not completely black. It is quite difficult to see when you're I'm in front of a window here and I can't well, you can see it's like fleckled. It's not just completely black. It is a nice cover. I really like the feel of it. But it's the blade shape. I love that blade shape completely. Especially when I have a terrible habit of poking things and hooking out with the end of my blade. This is perfect for it. And it's a good stout blade. It doesn't come down to a really thin edge. But, it's thin enough. It'll do anything. The blade stock is so much thinner. You can see the difference in the bevel of the knives. And they're about the same degrees. So, I bought this second-hand because it was the only way I could get one. I don't know whether although it's Lion Steel to make it, I'm sure they did sell them over here at one stage or somewhere in Europe, obviously because they're Italian knives. I just haven't seen them about for a while. And when you're buying from Europe and whatever, you've still got to add in that cost of getting it shipped and coming through customs. And It puts a lot of knives out of the bracket that I'm willing to pay for. This was a gift, so it cost me nothing. I got this for £100. I think they were somewhere around 140 when they were new. Not sure, but I got this brand new in box, unused. It's in perfect nick. The difference with this is you have the nail nick, but the nice little thing, they have a hidden lanyard hole at the back here. Let me just get the focus on that. Can you see that? It's a little post in there and you feed this round. It came with this little leather knot here, which I've kept on it, and it just goes perfect with it for pulling it in out of your pocket. I don't use a slip with this. I've only had it, this last, how long have I had it? Probably just over a week now, but already, if I'm taking this knife out, this is going to go with it. This will come with me a lot. I just love using it. Apart from the shape, it is a beautiful knife to use. This is S30V. This is M390. Like most of Lion Steel and Maniago factory, they tend to use the higher blade steel on their pricier knives. And their pricier knives are around that 140 for a lot of the knives. What have I got here that I can show you? There we go. I haven't got many now. I used to have quite a few of them. I've had the Dom. That's the only one. That's a Lion Steel model. This is the Lion Steel, but you'll see there's the CK mark, which is for Mike Latham's Collector Knives Company. And this is the edition they make. So, this is in Nylox. But again, it's another Lion Steel. And their fit and finish is phenomenal. It really is. We talk about the Chinese made knives that are coming in that are great value to buy. Check European and British. They're getting better, but Lion Steel at the minute are just, they're immaculate as far as I can see. I never hear anybody really complaining about the fit and finish at Lion Steel. And especially Mike's lot, he double checks all the knives that come through him. So you're near enough guaranteed of getting a good knife. Of course, some will slip through. We're talking knives that are sold in their thousands, but there we go. They're both screwed construction, which is nice. That's a pain in the backside to take away because it's got an axis lock. Now, I've done them so many times, it doesn't bother me, but they're fiddly if you've never done them. Don't do it if you don't have to. Blow it out, put oil in it. Don't take it apart if you don't have to. This is no problem. You can take this apart here. The blade on this one is 3.5, and the blade on this one, sorry, the blade's 3.5, the cutting edge is 3.25. The blade on this one is 2.75, and the cutting edge is about 2.5. I think it, yeah, let me just see. No, 2.75 is the cutting edge. Sorry, I'm right. 2.75, and it's just under 3 inches for the full length of the blade. So completely UK legal, and legal in most places. Look, these slip joints now are so good. They're not just a UK thing or a European thing. People are using slip joints all around the world because they're just nice to use. I like using them. There's less can go wrong with them. You just have a simple knife, and as long as you have, now this one has a half stop, which is beautiful. Just pops into a half stop, pops down there. Absolutely lovely. That's well and truly in there. Not going to be any problem. To open it, it's lovely, and it's a nice walk and talk. That is beautiful. It just sounds lovely and very safe and secure to use. So a beautifully constructed knife. This is the axis lock. This has got the fidget factor. It's got all the things, the modern trappings that a knife has, but I still like the basics of this. What can go wrong with this knife? There's lots can go wrong with these, and I've had them go wrong. Not just Benchmade, by the way. I'm talking about any knives that's got moving parts and springs and all that. There's things can go wrong. There's not much goes wrong with these. It's a back spring. Do you know what I mean? And the Lion Steel, just the way they round over all their edges down the back spring means that you don't see, if there's a little gap, you don't see it because of this rounded spring. It's an easy way for a production company that's going to be knocking out lots of knives. If you had to haft every one of them, you think of the process that goes into hafting. This way they can knock out a lot more knives and quicker. Is it traditional? No, it's not. But this is a modern traditional. And I'm going to say modern. It's a modern slip joint because it's not traditional. It's screwed construction, and it's got this super high blade steel that, although we don't need it, this is big enough to be a full work knife that will last anybody. And even if you're on a building site, this is a cracking little knife. I mean, there's half an inch difference between this blade and this has a long blade for most. You know, if you take, let me just see. Right, sorry, I should have had this organized. Let me see here. Right, where is it? Oh, there we go. Right, there's a Para 3, which is one of the most popular knives. Let me get these up so you can even see it with me. There's the Para 3. There's the cutting edge of the Para 3. So this is just longer than the Para 3. Is the grip as good as the Para 3? In my eyes, yes. Now you can get up maybe the tiniest little bit closer, but not much. And this has got a longer blade. So there's no doubting this is a fabulous, work knife. It's got fidget factor with it too. But this to me is just beautiful. I genuinely love it. And I love it because of that blade shape. I love the reverse tanto in a work knife. It gives me all the options I need to know. Is it over thin behind the edge? No, it's not as thin as most of my traditional knives. But this is quite thick. And I've never had a problem working with this. Never had a problem. Peeling apples, cutting tomatoes, whatever you like, I can do it with that. Is it, chefy standard? No, it's not. It's patty standard. And that's good enough. I couldn't care if I squash a tomato when I'm cutting it, in all honesty. I just don't give a monkey's. As long as it cuts it, I don't care. I don't need a wafer thin tomato. I have a fat belly. I take a big fat slice. So, but I just wanted you to see, I think you can understand why somebody like me who loves this knife so much, to get a slip joint version that I can carry legally in my country, I am blown away. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's just a cracking, and the handle on this is so comfortable. So comfortable. And you've got that warmth of wood. Just a beautiful knife. I get a full 4 fingers, medium large hand, and it's just beautiful. So there you go. That's my Lion Steel bonus and my Benchmade 940. 2 of my favourite working knives. Full stop. Full stop. My UK legal one, and now, well, it's always been the 940 anyway with me, but I've now got a UK legal version of this in my eyes. Let me know down below what you think about it. Would you use this as a work knife as much as you would use that? My answer is yes, because I can carry this legally here, so it'll get more use than this will. But this is still my favourite modern knife. So there you go. Paddy's gone. Cup of tea time. And thank you very much for watching and listening to my old waffle. Bye now.